Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Game 1 of the Robertson Cup Finals here at the Stoney Creek Arena between the Stoney Creek Tigers and the Wentworth Gryphins. The defending champion Wentworth Gryphins, both Allen Cup and Robertson Cup, the starting goaltenders tonight. In goal for Wentworth, number 39, Matt Camilleri. He posted a 9.01 save percentage in the regular season and won all three games in Wentworth's sweep to the finals. Sagret gets the start for the Stoney Creek Tigers. He's had a great season. He won one of the games here, and we're underway. Sweden won the other two, but Sagret had a great 893 save percentage during the regular season. Cole Poliziani brings it in over the line and dumps it into the corner, chases it there. Good pace to start this game. Both these teams want. Game 1 of the best-of-5 series underway here at the Stoney Creek Arena. Geiger controlling back. You can tell by the way that they're playing here that they mean business, both these teams. In behind, angled shot by McCormick. Not in the lineup too much this year unless games were in St. Catharines. He's from Buffalo. Here comes Giftopoulos. Remy Giftopoulos gives it to Elijah Roberts, the ever-dangerous him. Roberts picks it up in the corner, gets bumped. It's taken away by Essery. Essery was nearly bumped off the puck. He kicks it forward. That's going to be Whalen playing it off the boards, and Essery gives chase. Essery, backhand centering. It's knocked away by Camilleri, but only out to center, where Roberto gets it and puts it back to Knight. Whalen dumps it into the corner. White clears it for Wentworth. It goes down the ice. It won't have enough for icing. And Matt Roberto back to get it and throws it around the boards. Off the boards and a line pass, Petra and Antonio. Whalen with a long shot, playing that bounce in front of the net. Talked about on CHCH this week by Sagret and Mitch Payne in the segment there. We're talking about the lively boards in this ring. Harvey drops it to Lewis. Harvey hit at the blue line by Gignac. He gets right back up, though, and gets it in the corner now. To the line, and it's going to be cleared by Gignac, who backsends it to center, and then goes the other way. There's a high sticking call. Either was knocked down with a high stick. And they're going to go to a power play here right away as Harvey takes one for a high stick. Harvey was second in the league with penalties and takes another here right off the bat. And we're going to go to the power play. The special teams for the Stoney Creek Tigers. It was operating in the regular season at 30%. It's 50%, 4 for 8 in the playoffs in Stoney Creek's sweep of Dundas. The penalty killing is 92.3% in the playoffs for Wentworth, and during the regular season, pretty strong at 76%. And it'll go all the way back into the Stoney Creek zone to start off here. Special teams were a big story in that opening round series between Stoney Creek and Dundas, as half of the opportunities had a goal by the Stoney Creek Tigers. Poliziani goes down the ice, a minute 30 left to go in the power play. Almost intercepted there by Alex Hutchins, who's ever dangerous. Both these teams have already allowed a shorthanded goal, but scored none in their first round series, which were both sweeps. Into the slot it goes. Essery knocked down, chasing it. Webster tries to get back into it. And it goes all the way back to center for Knight. So far, a good job killing by Wentworth. In over the line and stop there. Caruso has a bit of time. They rag it and dump it down the ice. Sagret, oh no! And they score! A laugher as the puck was going into the zone, took a weird bounce on Sagret, who tried to react quickly, and it came right in front to Giftopoulos. And wow, what a Giftopoulos that was. A shorthanded goal for the Wentworth Gryphins on their dump in that took a crazy hop. Lewis steals the puck now for Wentworth, brings it over the line, aiming for the glove corner, missed on the top corner. Boy, both these teams coming out with speed. Lead pass off the stick of Essery. Picked up by Whalen, but offside at the line was Webster. And they'll have to come outside with 33 seconds left to go on the power play. Oh boy, what a gift that goal was. They talked about it on the radio, the bounces in this building, and certainly saw one there. Play over on this side. Knight says Josh Petrantonio over on the far side. He wheels it back to Knight. Knight plays a lead up. Essery playing it in for Webster. He battles Knight there. Comes up for the puck, but dumps it the other way. His reverse is intercepted by Caruso. And Caruso to the line, not out, kept in. 16:21 to go in the opening period. It's 1-0 Wentworth in game one. Whalen has it start there. There's a tussle behind the net, and the net comes tumbling over. So much yelling in the corner as Wentworth fans are strongly represented down in that far end. Penalty is over. Refs are saying it's an incidental contact, but he wasn't pushed. Stoney Creek pushing for a penalty. Sinagorat says, that'll be enough of that. We'll get this done on our own. We won't need the referee's help. Knighton in to take the draw. Wins it back, but Forsland couldn't play it ahead, and it's out of the zone. Now went over the line, a slow roller in on Camilleri. As Popick there to clear it once, and that's all he needs as he bounces it off the boards. Tipo misses. Poliziani fires it way down the ice. Foss into chase. Can't quite get it, but there's a hack in on there, and here comes the first power play. Another big slash going the other way. It looks like Forsland's going to go for slashing. So a lot happening early here. Let's talk about the Wentworth power play, which in the opening round went 3 for 13, so operating at 23%. Operated at 36% during the regular season. Penalty killing pretty good, 85.7%. Stoney Creek allowing 1 goal on 7 opportunities in the open round. Over on the far side, to the front of the net, Sagret makes a nice save, and that goes back behind for Foss, who winds it back around to the point to Eric Diodati. Downey misses Foss and goes down behind the boards. Matt McLeod, no stranger to a big goal in the playoffs. Long shot by Hutchings is deflected and goes out of play. The regular season matchup between these two teams, Stoney Creek won 5, and Wentworth won the first one way back on November 13th. But since then, it has been all Stoney Creek. But as any player on either team will tell you, none of that matters now. This is the Robertson Cup Finals in Game 1 of a best-of-5. Diodati will have to retreat into his zone with 1:26 to go on the power play. Wentworth really looking organized and composed here as they come out of their zone. Diodati's long pass for Lomas. Lomas brings it over the line, tries to slot. He gets McLeod. He scores! McLeod with a one-timer makes it 2-0 Wentworth. It's a power play goal. Stoney Creek on their back heels as just about 5 minutes into this game. It is 2-0 Wentworth in game 1. Lewis takes the draw in there, and it's won by Webster. Geiger with a long lead pass just skips past Gignac and rolls in slowly on Camilleri, who leaves it there for Caruso. One pass to Riley McRae. Plays it in the corner and around the boards. Wentworth using the boards well to get the puck out of the zone. Look out, Lewis is coming out. Sagret going for another adventure. He leads that one up, and this is Madge in over the line. Ladd shoots. Nice pad save by Camilleri. Gignac goes into the corner. McRae reverses it. Little bit of adversity here for the Stoney Creek Tigers, but it started that way in game 2 of this series, their series against Dundas. They find themselves down early. The next goal, already a biggie. And here's Wentworth in over the line. Giftopoulos has it knocked off his stick. Poliziani doesn't play it. Webster with a full head of steam. Spin over the blue line, drops it back to Poliziani, a low shot. Webster takes it behind the net, but tries to control it first. Now on the backhand, gets it to Poliziani. Poliziani uses the point to Forsland, low shot, nice. Glove save by Camilleri there. And we'll have a face-off in the zone. Well, there was a game back on November 22nd that Stoney Creek led 9-1 at one point. The final score ended up being 9-6. Point is, no lead is ever safe in this league. And in the playoffs, anything can happen. Diodati back to get it for Wentworth. Really looking composed. A good far pass on the far side to Giftopoulos, his backhander. Doesn't get on net, but now McLeod in the corner. Giftopoulos now looking to make a move. Makes a nice little move into this area. Long shot, and that's snagged by Sagrin. Face off to the glove side of the goaltender, Stoney Creek goaltender. With 13:35 to go in the opening period, Stoney Creek finds themselves down 2. Knight plays it around the boards, gets to the line and out. Fired back in and over the line. Sagrit leaves the puck there for Knight. Knight with one lead pass, gets it to center. Through the zone is Essery. He couldn't continue to follow it. Petrantonio gives chase, but there's another strange bounce. Camilleri hadn't committed. To the line, he'll go all the way down. Now ahead of the play is Hutchings. Alex Hutchings going to get to that puck first and look for options. He gets it to Foss. Tough angle. Nice save by Sagrit. How'd that go in? It was aired out in the slot, and unless it hit a Stoney Creek player and went in, the Tigers look rattled here early on. Sagrit made the save. It bounced in the air and deflected in somehow. Shell-shocked are these Stoney Creek Tigers, who haven't seen this kind of adversity at home all season. 7 minutes into the game, they're down 3-0 in Game 1 of the Robertson Cup final. Wentworth showing their class. Also getting quite a few bounces. But really tightened defensively there, and Caruso gets it. That's going to draw another penalty, and Wentworth's going to go right back to the power play here. It just keeps coming down. Vela takes his man down. Wentworth trying to get organized here and get the extra attacker on. They do. And Stoney Creek really stuck in the mud here early on in Game 1. This one goes off the boards and deep. Sagrit plays it there. He keeps it in the zone. We'll have the power play. The power play, which is 1-for-1, special teams being already kind of a difference in this one, as Wentworth has both a shorthanded and a power play goal here in the opening frame of the series. Geiger back to play it to the line. Kept in by McLeod. Diodati fires it back down low where Foss goes to get it. He's interfered with a little. That gets around the boards but not out. Kept in by Hutchings. Lomas plays it around the boards and to the line. It's Diodati gets it there and plays it. Madge is going to get the puck and dump it down the ice. And by the Stoney Creek Tigers, a brief change of personnel. And it's Whalen that comes on the ice as a penalty killer. Andrew Whalen looking for things to do. Through the ice is Foss as he skates with speed. Has it knocked off his stick. Now he plays it on the half boards. Looks back into the middle to Diodati. Back to Foss. Foss looking for options. Keeps it low. They got a bumper. Nice save by Sagrit there. That's a great scoring opportunity for Wentworth to make it 4-0. Now cross ice passes him. Intercepted, goes all the way down the ice. That's only been a minute of the power play, and Wentworth has been threatening, even with that bumper player in the slot area. Here's Diodati. Into Lomas. Lomas to Hutchings over the line. Knighton falls down. Hutchings in the slot. Cross ice pass couldn't be put away by McLeod. McLeod tries a backhand pass. Hutchings. He's got Lomas in front who's beaver tapping for it but doesn't get it. Now to Caruso back at the point. Caruso to Hutchings. Goes all the way to the other side. Played there and now back to Caruso. Foss takes a hit. Sagrit low and finds it on the other side. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Big hits, rattles the boards in the whole arena. And the wooden beams that mind these trusses that are above the rink. Caruso playing it to Hutchings. Hutchings back to Caruso. Caruso far side to Foss. Foss gets it in the slot. It goes right through and cleared the zone. Right to the line, not out. Last 5 seconds of the power play. Foss throws it around to the other side to Hutchings. Stony Creek just hanging on, and there's a chance there as the penalty expires. A one-timer from the side of the net. Nobody saw him. It's 4-0 Wentworth Gryphins. This is ugly. Michael Lomas getting that one on the far side. What can you say? Everybody in this rink stunned. Not the Wentworth fans. They're loving it, a short trip. Cole Poliziani. Long lead pass deflected. That one's out of play. And we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. Well, who would have thought halfway through the first period, 4-0, just as that power play was expiring, Michael Lomas all alone at the side of the net. He had a gaping net to fire it on. Although, Ryan, if you're gonna tell a story of a decent hockey game, it certainly starts this way, doesn't it? Act 1 looks like this. I don't think Camilleri's even had one shot. Well, he did have one pad save. The others have been slow rollers. In the slot, Knight trying to find the short side and get something at him. Cordell James has it down low, but he's taken off the puck by Palpic. It'll go to McRae, who plays it along the half boards. Everybody knifing it. Now back to the point. Roberto, low shot, gloved by Camilleri. And that's one of the harder saves he's had in this game. He has made a nice glove save over on that side from the point shot, but boy, Stoney Creek looking a little bit confused. Hard to catch your breath. It's 4-0 to start a finals. Wow. There comes Roberts. Played it off the boards. Whalen going to try again. Now it's McLeod. Leaves it there for Giftopoulos. Giftopoulos over to Roberts. And a nice save by Sagret with the blocker, and he hangs on to it. There'll be a face-off in the Stoney Creek zone. Well, this is game 1. The rest of the schedules will be Thursdays in Wentworth, and then back here next Saturday at 6:30 for game 3. And then Thursday and Saturday again, Wentworth and Stoney Creek alternating if necessary. Games on Thursday in Wentworth are at 7:30. At Stoney Creek, the starting time here is always 6:30. It's not even 7 o'clock Eastern. And it is 4-0 for the Wentworth Gryphins, the reigning Robertson and Allen Cup champions, who look very composed in this game and very much like a well-skating unit. Here's Essery, brings it in. Now takes it into the corner. He's bumped off the puck there. And Wentworth, it's McLeod right there to pick it up and get it to Giftopoulos. Giftopoulos back to McLeod, who has all kinds of room. Fires a shot, hits the leg, and Essery's going to go the other way, try and catch the Gryphons on a change. Whalen overskates it, but now it's into the slot. Geiger shoots. Bad save by Camilleri. Webster plays it along the boards and has it knocked off your stick. Here's Poliziani. Dan Poliziani wearing a cage after that stick he took to the face a couple weeks ago. Bump in the corner. Now at the line, Petrantonio has it deflected in and out of play. They go. It is 4-0 Wentworth Gryphins over the Stoney Creek Tigers. There's your mountain. Grab your Sherpa. Face-off will be in the Wentworth zone. Knighton to take the draw. Tiefel has it, and it goes all the way back into the zone. Wow, and on that again is Hutchings. He's got great speed, and this second time he's won an icing race here at the Stoney Creek Arena. Tiefel brings it to the outside, plays it to the center, deflects to the half boards. Cleared by Wentworth. Knighton back to get it. Chris Knighton harassed, but gets it to Sinagoratz. Sinagoratz, the people, who tries to play it into center ice area, but it's intercepted by Lomas. His long shot is gloved by Sagret, who doesn't like what he sees and hangs on to it. Not a lot of Stoney Creek liking what they see right now, as Wentworth have a 4-0 lead here in game one, but there's still plenty of hockey to be played. Cordell James leaves it there for Knight. Joel Knight, one pass up to McCormick. Buffalo's own McCormick dumps it into the corner. Wentworth there to get it to the line, not out, kept in by James. But that's all he did. And it does eventually come out to Matt Roberto. Then over on this side, through center ice is Cordell James. He's tripped up a bit by Lewis. Here comes Roberto. Fans on the first attempt, but the second attempt is dumped in. Into the corner it goes. Caruso plays it off the boards. Two Tigers in there, but White comes to give his man support for Wentworth. Tough angle shot by McCormick. Roberto has no play on it. Wentworth gets it to the line all the way down the ice, and that's going to be icing, as McRae did not have enough speed that time. Wow, some of these Tigers are coming off gassed, and they look tired. Whalen off the draw. Oh! A caressive steal as it hit the crossbar there. Good shot by Whalen here. They play it on the boards. White will reverse it the other way. Harvey will have to come up and play it, but Stoney Creek able to keep it in. White trying to ride his man. He does put a good hit on his man. Into the corner they go. Essery really fighting there. Gets back to his feet. They jam away at it, and it's going to be Wentworth coming up with the puck. They get it to the line. No, it's kept in by Poliziani. Really nice play by Dan Poliziani. Tough angle. Good save by Camilleri, and he controls the rebound, and that's important. 6:20 to go, opening period. 4-0 on our old broken Canada Dry scoreboard. Webster to take the draw against McLeod. They'll redo it. The duel controlled by Wentworth and out to center. Here comes Roberts in over the line for Wentworth, but he stopped there. Now Gignac plays it up to Madge, and Madge just jumps it in. Camilleri out to play it. He reverses it, and there's two Tigers on it right away. Looking for options. Gignac gets it back to the point. Forsland has time to get it away. The rebound goes to an empty corner, and Wentworth's able to clear it. Diodati back to get it. Boy, the speed of this game is like none other we've seen in this building this year. It's really making the ice look small, and Wentworth is forechecking everything. Here comes Gignac over the line with Madge. Madge's one-timer was not the best one, but it just missed on the far side. Now it's going to be Knight. He steps in from the point, shoots, deflected, out of play. 5:29 to go in the opening period. 4-0 Wentworth Gryphins over the Stoney Creek Tigers. Okay. McLeod led, he's got one tonight, and he led Wentworth during the regular season with goals, with 19. Over on the Stoney Creek side, it was Dylan Madge with 16. Mackenzie Wood leading the league with 20 during the regular season, in case you're wondering. They battle away in the corner. It comes to the line, he'll just go out. Michael Lomas brings it in over the line. He's got Hutchings streaking. Great save by Sagret, who had Hutchings in all alone on him. Boy, Wentworth exposing their speed, utilizing their speed through the neutral zone, and really creating some dangerous rushes in this one, but also using that speed down low to create some turnovers and win some puck battles. Off the draw, this is Wentworth. Controlling it, and a penalty coming up to Stoney Creek. They were slow on the whistle there for some reason. Sagret had touched it. He knew it was exclusively possession to get the whistle, and it looks like it's going to be a slashing call. Hooking call. Hooking call to Kyle Essery. He'll serve 2 or less. And with the way this game has gone thus far, Wentworth just looks like indestructible. Mike Marasco on a home penalty playing Devil Inside by InXS, which is kind of funny. Point shot goes off the post on Sagret. On the far side, on the glove side. Diodati plays it down low. McLeod in the bumper position. Cleared to the line and out. And it'll go the length of the ice. 4.5 minutes to go. 4-0 Wentworth in what's been a disastrous opening period for Stoney Creek. Long lead pass. Hutchings fanned on it. And it would have been icing, but Sagret had to play it as it bounced in front of the net. Sagret already seen one terrible bounce tonight. He's seen 2. It's a point shot, stopped in front, puck is loose. Cleared just to the side by Poliziani. He battles for it with 2 Gryphins on him, and that's going to actually draw a penalty. And it's going to be a hooking call to Wentworth. Hutchings. Hutchings doesn't like it. That'll nullify what was left of the Wentworth power play. And we'll see some 4-on-4 hockey here for 1:08 in the first period. Whalen takes the draw. Roberto plays it down low. Whalen rides his man, but it goes behind the back. And it's going to be Lewis with a nice little move. Dumps it back the other way. McRae reverses it. Cam White, all kinds of room back there for Wentworth. Gets it up to McRae, who called for it. And gets it in over the line, dumps it low behind the net. Cam White down there to get it. Looking to make a play, does. Lewis trying to get it in front. Lewis on the half boards. Plays it now a little bit low, and here's White. Behind the net, centered! Nice save by Sagret. Stoney Creek about to go to the power play. They need something here. Whalen takes it into the corner, plays it to the front of the net, and rolls it there. Camilleri Gloves scoops that up easily. Oh, we've had 1 goalpost. 2 goalposts, 1 at each end. There's 16 seconds to go. And then a 58-second power play for Stoney Creek. Poliziani plays it over on the far side to Geiger, who just keeps it in. Now Geiger takes it behind the net, centers it all the way back to the point. Everybody missed it, and Sagret has to come out to play this. Lead pass, Diodati plays it there, and the power play on now for Stoney Creek. They'll have to start from their own zone. Geiger over to Dan Poliziani, wearing that cage again after that high stick he took from a couple weeks ago. They had to bring a mop out onto the ice. That one's dumped into the corner. He missed that game, but was right back in this one. Now to the point it goes. This is Dan Poliziani. Moves it around to Cole. Cole Poliziani. Dan fires a shot. That goes off the glove. Loose puck through the crease. Nice goal! Geiger on the doorstep. And Stoney Creek with a power play goal is on the board. Boy, did they need that. They had a few notorious slow starts in this playoffs. I think it's James and Poliziani that got the assists on that Geiger goal. Back into the zone they go. And finally, the Stoney Creek faithful have something to cheer about on this Saturday night. In Game 1 of the Robertson Cup Finals, Webster giving chase, gives a little hack there. The pushing and shoving, a formality. Webster. Hutchings controls it off the draw and gets it to the line and out. Well, Stoney Creek is going to have to get greedy if they're going to get into this game. Hutchings with a deflected shot behind the net takes another strange bounce. Now in front of the net, Geiger with 1:41 to go in the opening period. Nice lead pass for Madge, but it just goes off his stick and down the ice. No icing on the play. Now it gets around to Hutchings. A long lead pass to the other side. Forsling plays it, and it's going to rotate the other way. Popick dumps it in behind the net. Sagret leaves it there for Forsland. 1:16 to go in the first period. It's 4-1 Wentworth here in this best of 5 series, game 1 for the Robertson Cup. Whalen fires a shot. Nice glove save by Camilleri, who saw that all the way. He gets a good hand from the Wentworth faithful that have showed up in the Stoney Creek Arena tonight. Just over a minute to go, and we'll have a face-off to the blocker side of Matt Camilleri, who's played all the playoff time here for Wentworth in their opening sweep of the St. Catherine Saints. Wentworth wins that draw. Giftopoulos, long dump in. Roberts bumped hard there by Forsland. Whalen takes a look and then just chips it out to center, but that's where Wentworth controls. Now chip back in. Roberts takes a hit. Some of the fans, the Wentworth fans, did not like that. Sinagoratz lead pass to Whalen. Whalen brings it in over the line. Long shot in on Camilleri. Tried to fool him, but he was awake on that one. Whalen still in front. They chop around of it and goes behind the net with 24 seconds left in the period. Roberts lost the puck to James, and that casual giveaway with about 15 seconds means the defense can come up. McClay right on the shin pads there rather heavily. They jam away at the corner with it. 8 seconds left. Stoney Creek and Wentworth. Just a scrum there that doesn't appear to go anywhere. Now come out with it. Not a centering pass. It does make it in front. Spin shot, but the buzzer goes, and the threat is neutralized. So after one period of play, Wentworth, the reigning champions, come into the Stoney Creek Arena and take a 4-1 lead, back with the second period after this. So the second period coming up here, and what was a shell-shocked first period, to describe the least. I don't know if you can believe it, but the shots were actually 14 apiece. During a second intermission between a conversation with the Ryan Taylor, sitting next to me, and the elder statesman Taylor, said that they felt that the second period was, or the second half of that first period was dominated by the Tigers, who did get more opportunities, hit a goal post, and that. Also, during the second intermission, we saw Camilleri come out and practice a little eye tracking work, see if he's got everything going there. Both the teams returning to the ice, both at 14 shots apiece. However, the difference in this game was that 4-1 score. And that goal, the third Wentworth goal, they're saying that went in on the short side now. And it didn't deflect in after the fact. A lot of confusion as it was in and out of the net very quickly. But Wentworth looking like a fine oiled machine tonight and cruising. Well, there's Mitchell Payne behind the coaching staff there. At Becca, the head coach. Goaltender Matt Camilleri, unhappy with the positioning of the goalposts. And now the ice crew out there to take a look. tight little circles now by the Stoney Creek players as they are anxious to get going in this, the second period of game one. Season series again between these two was a 5-1 Stoney Creek win. Wentworth won the first game 6-4 back on November 13th. Remy Giftopoulos had a goal and 2 assists. On November 22nd, Stoney Creek won 9-6. It was 9-1 at one point. Dan Vella had 1 goal and 2 assists in that one. On December 11th at Wentworth, Stoney Creek had a 5-2 win. Sagret had 35 saves in that one. And then on February 7th, in this very rink, it was Stoney Creek coming away with a 5-1 win. Sweden had 34 saves in that one. On February 26th at Wentworth, which was a rescheduled game, it was supposed to happen earlier in January, but was snowed. Stoney Creek won a punch-out, 9-7. Cole Poliziani had 2 goals and 2 assists. It was a wild third period in that one, as 9 goals in total were scored. So pretty normal game up until the third period. That's Allen Cup hockey. It's explosive at any given time. And then on February 28th, Stoney Creek won here at the Stoney Creek Arena, 6-3. Geiger had a goal and 2 assists. Still some problems in behind on the east end of the rink. We are drilling a hole. That's got to be a tough feeling when you're out there trying to adjust the net and keep it in. You know, everybody's watching and you're waiting to get the game going. So it looks like they've got the net sorted. It is back on its moorings. Looking sturdy. They'll get a bit of applause, the ice crew, as they go off here. It shakes a little. The ice crew coming back out here. We got a little bit more snow that they're going to put around the post. Hopefully that'll melt it, keep it in place a little bit better, but it did shake a little bit after they tried to secure it on its moorings. So this is very anticlimactic to what is supposed to be a Robertson Cup Game 1 final in a best-of-5 series. For those of you interested in following up, Game 2 will be Thursday night at Wentworth, March 26th at 7:30. Game 3 back here, Stoney Creek, a week from tonight, 6:30, Stoney Creek Arena. Face-off, and the second period is underway. Popick back to get it for Wentworth. Long pass, misses everybody, goes all the way down the ice. Icing waved off, though, as the fast-skating Wentworth Gryphins are on that puck again. Popick back at the point. That's blocked by Cordell James. Lead pass to McCormick. He's got a step. Gets it over to Poliziani. He's hooked. Rebound. They score! Oh, get your hazmat suit on. There's a little radiation as the Geiger meter is going off. That's his second of the game. And that is one of the better starts that Stoney Creek could have hoped for. Going to the net hard was everybody. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get off the ice, Geiger. Doing a bit of a victory lap there. Almost too many men. Essery plays it behind the net. Popek misses it. Harvey keeps it in. Boy, lots of goals at that east end of that rink. And now another chance. Cordell James, but a really nice glove save by Camilleri there, who tracked it the whole way. 1 minute in, he's made a couple of good saves already. Couldn't control the rebound there that eventually led to the goal. But that is exactly what Stoney Creek needed. And it's a hockey game again. To the line and out. Now played off the boards. Webster, big hit down there in the boards. And slow to get up is Dylan Madge. And it's going to be a big hit. It's going to be Kyle Lewis. Madge chasing him down, trying to get a word in. But he's going straight to the box. 2 for boarding. You could hear that one in the corner. It was a heavy and late hit. So now Stoney Creek will go to the power play. And the power play's been very good. 1 for 2 tonight, but they did allow a shorthanded goal. That was on a crazy bounce, albeit. James off the draw. Now Geiger has it back at the point. Geiger fires a shot. Blocker save. Another weird bounce behind the east end of that net. To the line and out, and Stoney Creek will have to go all the way back to their own zone to play it. Sagrin out to leave it there. Here's Poliziani. Poliziani through center. Geiger now to McCormick. Unable to get set up. Look out, that could be an opportunity, and it's Lomas going in. He's the lone Wentworth Griffin up there to get it. Tried a backhand centering pass. That didn't work. It's good time killed down in that Stoney Creek zone with 1:20 to go in the power play. Here comes Dan Poliziani. He finds his first pass to Cole. That just missed him. It could go for ice, and the puck is way out to the line and kept in by Dan Poliziani. Now over to Geiger. Geiger will play it down low. Cole Poliziani looking for options. He gets it into the slot, but it's intercepted, and now it'll be cleared by Cam White. Right in on Sagrit, who just pushes it to the side with Giftopoulos on his man with Geiger. And Poliziani will bring it through center again with under a minute to go in the power play. Webster has it knocked off his stick, and they'll have to retreat. But now Geiger plays it at the blue line and does a long dump in on the corner that right along the dasher board and did Wentworth a little favor and practically cleared itself. Now it's offside, and we'll have a face-off just outside the Stoney Creek zone. More people looks like it filed in here. Say a good 200-300 people in this building tonight. A little bit warmer. Knight plays it over to Petrantonio. Petrantonio through center. Here comes Webster over the line. Webster plays it in the corner. Now goes back to the point. Knight still with the power play and about 24 seconds left on it. Puck is coughed up, and it's Riley McCrae. Could be a 2-on-1. He's got Harvey with him. McCrae goes into the slot, waited a little too long, and then shot it wide. Here comes Whalen. Just reverses it, and Petrantonio now back to Knight. 10 seconds to go in the power play, and this is all but killed off. Webster brings it through center. Webster brings it into the zone. Webster in the slot. Lets a shot go, and Camilleri makes the save just as the penalty expires. Sinigoratz trying to make sure that he has the right matchup out there. Really paying close attention to that bench and really directing traffic on who makes the change. So paying attention completely to the Wentworth changes and taking advantage of last change. It's Geiger again, point shot deflected into the corner. Alex Hutchings to get it, fans on it, but it does get out, and here comes Ryan Foss through center. He lost the puck, and it's Geiger that picks it up. His first place, Tipo plays it over in the far corner. A weird bounce that goes in on on Camilleri. Late hit there, and a good one on Popek behind the net. More bodies starting to fly, but it is Popek that comes out with the puck. Now he goes through center. Popick, after taking that hit, lets a shot go on the blocker side, goes way wide. Now they fire it into the corner. Another hit. Boy, Stoney Creek really finishing their hits now. Make sure you watch every follow through because their bodies are starting to fly. Popick's shot goes wide. Back into the point, but it's going to be intercepted by Teeple. Teeple over the center. Now gains the zone. Cross ice pass is intercepted. Foss again with a man on him. Now that's intercepted by Vela. Vela tries to get to the front of the net. Teeple had it in his skates, but it's turned aside now and taken out by Wentworth. Wentworth to Hutchings. Hutchings tries to play it into an area pass for Popick, and that didn't work. Now off of Hutchings, gets out through center and outside, and this is going to be an offside call, and a face-off will be outside the Stoney Creek zone. Wentworth Gryphins 4, Stoney Creek Tigers 2, here in Game 1 of the Robertson Cup Final in Stoney Creek tonight in the best-of-5 series. Cordell James wins that draw back to Forsland. Sinagoratz doesn't like what he sees and turns around, but makes a second play to Cole Boliziani. Stoney Creek really spaced out here and waiting for a dump in, and that's going to be McCormick going hard for it. McCormick plays it in the corner, winds around the boards, and it is Wentworth. What? Roberts on an angle gets it back in the slot. McCown spins around. It bounces in the corner, and it's going to be dumped all the way down the ice. Cordell James has a step on his man. Icing waved off. Cordell James gets it. Hard shot. Nice save off of McCormick there was Camilleri, who got everything he could into that shot and heads immediately off. That one was almost intercepted. Look out. McLeod's got a chance. McLeod cross ice. But that was airborne to Giftopoulos, and he would have had to make quite a play to knock that down. He still has the puck, though, and he plays it on the far side. Now they dump it down as Roberts gets it low. McLeod now looking to center it. Can't play it. It's Roberto playing it tonight. Back to the point. Caruso can't keep it in. It'll go into the corner, knocked down by Roberto. Stoney Creek controls it, and Roberto leads that first pass up to Dylan Madge. Madge fires it in into the far side. That's where Essery gives chase. Essery back in the slot, and he fires it wide. Madge trying to go for it. Now he does. Plays it low for Essery. Essery just had it go past Gignac, and it's going to be the Gryphins that get the puck out. That's Lewis with a full head of steam. He's got Giftopoulos. Giftopoulos shoots, scores! Giftopoulos pulled it back and beat Sagret on the short side. It is 5-2 Wentworth. Great action end to end. And Wentworth gets an important goal back after allowing the last two to restore their 3-goal lead here in Game 1 of the Robertson Cup Finals. Popick wins the draw, and to the line it goes out. So, Wentworth leads it through center. This one goes all the way down the ice for icing. Wentworth took advantage and got some practice time in this rink on Wednesday, and they were here Wednesday night practicing. About 9 of the Gryphins able to make the trip and go for a bit of a skate, get a sense of the rink. It looks like that strategy has paid off early here, as we're nearing the halfway point of the game, and they're ahead 5-2. Stoney Creek needing the next goal. It's a big one. Oh, McRae didn't know that he had the puck and was all alone the other way, but he was relatively flat-footed. Most people didn't even know he had the puck. Now it chips it out to center. This one will go into the zone. Diodati makes one play, bounces to the line. Petra Antonio plays it for Poliziani. Poliziani shoots, goes into the corner. Nice save by Camilleri. Centering pass, now into the slot. Geiger with another shot. That's a flex out of play. Geiger looking pretty good. He came into this game. The captain still is. So we're seeing Matt Roberto here tonight. Mike Roberto not available. Neither is Daniel Speeden. Josh Roman is the backup goaltender sitting on the Stoney Creek bench. That shot just goes wide. Stoney Creek getting some good looks off the draw. As long as they get the shot away early, the puck on its edge goes all the way down the ice past Knight. He winds it around for Teeple. Teeple plays it in the corner. Freddie Teeple now making one play to Matt Roberto. Matt Roberto to Knighton. Locked off the stick and now fires it into the corner. Sagret decides to come out and play it and plays it to the half boards. It's going to be Geiger picking, not Geiger, sorry, this is Knighton. Knighton with the puck. Back to Matt Roberto. Roberto with another move. Gets it past center and backhands it into the corner behind the net for Camilleri, who missed it. Now in the slot for T-Pole, tough angle shot. And Camilleri got square to keep that one down. 12:52 to go, second period. It is 5-2 for the visiting Wentworth Gryphins, the defending Robertson and Allen Cup champions. And they look like a well-oiled machine tonight. James takes the draw, but it's handled by Wentworth, and they chip it out past center. Sinigoratz backhanding it and controls with a bit of escape. He's tripped there, but there is a penalty coming up. And now Sinigoratz really trying to rev up his team after drawing a penalty there, skating on his backhand. Diodati pointing to a soft spot in the ice where he thinks what really happened. But that was a trip, and it did influence possession. Normally the officials won't call it if possession doesn't change, but here we go. It's Stoney Creek going back to the power play. Remy Giftopoulos. Hooking. Tripping. Sorry. To the line and out. Geiger will have to go all the way back into his own zone to start. Poliziani leads it out. This is James. This is big for Stoney Creek if they want to get back in this game. They have played well at times. They just need to string some good shifts together, and they may get a chance here now. It's 5-2 for Wentworth. Back to Geiger. Point shot. Loose at the side. They score! Cordell James gets the rebound and puts it in. That's a big goal because we got ourselves a hockey game again. No lead ever safe in the Allen Cup. So Geiger will get an assist on that play on the rebound as James was perched off to the side and buried the rebound. Face-off won by Wentworth. It is 5-3 Wentworth in this one. Geiger back to get it. Now Poliziani. Whalen through the ice. Geiger now behind the net tries to center it. Gets deflected by Camilleri into the corner. Behind the net, Caruso had to reverse. Now it's picked up by Geiger or Essery that tried to center it. And it's Hutchings through the zone now over on this side to Ryan Foss. Foss gets it back to the point where White lets a shot go. It gets stopped in front. Poliziani will chip it to the line, but not out. They battle away at the half boards. Whalen comes in with the shoulder. Knock his man off it. Foss now taking it behind the net. Gives it to Hutchings. Hutchings takes it back to the point. They're trying to load up down low. Wentworth trying to load up down low on that play, but couldn't get set up. Knocked ahead by Whalen. That goes all the way down the ice. Camilleri comes out to play it before Petra Antonio could stop it. Lewis has it, fans on it. Knight there to poke it away, but Lewis actually still has it. 11 minutes to go in the second period. It is 5-3 for Wentworth over the Stoney Creek Tigers here in game one of the Robertson Cup final. Webster. McRae lets a shot. Madge lets a shot go. Gignac. Back in the corner. Madge chasing it. He's looking a little gassed. So Geiger and Poliziani getting assist on that James power play goal. The power play has looked decent. Knight Lewis out. That gets deflected. Boy, Sagert really wants to play that puck tonight. Lewis plays it on the half boards back to the point to Popik. Popik plays it in the corner now down low. Wentworth cycling the puck. inside that Stoney Creek zone. Popick tries to get it low and into the corner. Lewis there rotating with his man. McCray battling in the corner, gets it back to Popick. Popick plays it low. Always two Wentworth players ready to take it behind the Stoney Creek net. That's flipped out by Webster. It won't have enough for icing. It's waved off. And some changes with that long change in the second period being a factor there. A couple of the Tigers come off. Knighton trying to play it ahead. It is eventually knocked in by Knight. Camilleri gives it away in the slot, but Knighton could not take advantage of the real estate that was given to him on that Camilleri giveaway, and it remains 5-3. You have to wonder if Knighton were right-handed, if that would have been in the back of the net. Knighton knocks it into the corner. The Gryphins fired around the boards. That goes by Giftopoulos and bounces out to center. This is where Forsland picks it up. Jamie Forsland ahead, and then Vela trying to plus it. It's actually going back to White. Deflected. That one hit the official right in the neck. Oh, gosh. Get the trainer out there quick. That got him right in the throat, and he went down in a hurry, the linesman. His helmet now off. Here comes Steph Trzynski, trainer of the year. He's in good hands. He looks to be okay. He's coming up. He's got a towel to the face. And a hush falls across the Stoney Creek Arena as the linesman took a puck in the face on that deflected dump in. Just couldn't get out of the way in time of that one, but this is a short rink, and they go with a lot of speed, that's for sure. He's up, he gets a hand. He's got a towel to the mouth, to the side of the face, and a little bit of war paint there just inside the blue line. And he's off for repairs. Linesman Rosati, sorry. Roasty. He heads back. So now we'll operate with three officials. Well, one of those defensemen will be the linesman. The face-off is just going to be outside the zone. That's not a hard thing to determine. But going back for repairs with Steph Trzynski is the linesman Rosati on that play. So they'll scrape away some of that DNA just inside the blue line. Kind of takes a little of the momentum out of the game, but we're glad to see the linesman go off under his own power. Sinigorat's trying to rally the troops with a bit of a strategy. The long change a factor here. Again, they clean up and scrape off that ice. And the forensics team removes the evidence. Face off now, and we're back underway with 9 minutes to go in the second period. That was offside as Giftopoulos jumped ahead. McLeod to take the draw against James. They scrum away at it, and Stoney Creek is able to advance the puck. Down low it goes where Caruso and James, the latest goal scorer, battle away for it. They play along the boards. James trying to pry it loose. They kick away at it, and it's going to be Wentworth coming up with a chance to clear it, and they finally do. Giftopoulos waits a little bit, gets it to McLeod. Good lead pass to Roberts. Roberts fires it off the boards. A nice puck comes right in front there. The members bounce, as studying this arena seems to have paid off for Wentworth in that category, as they like to support down low. A good hard shot there by Giftopoulos in the shot, and an even better save by Segret. Foss to take the draw against Essery. It's one back and it goes into the corner. Now Essery chips it to center. White misplays it. Had Whalen knock him over while he was trying to play it in his feet. No call. Poliziani back for Stoney Creek Tiners. Poliziani to Petra Antonio. Now Geiger brings it in over the line. Tries to dump it in the corner. Does on a second attempt. Doesn't take a weird bounce. That goes up and hits finally one of the wooden beams here. Usually happens once a period. The officials trying to control the traffic. And they're suggesting that Diodati has to go off. $7:49 to go in the second period. Stoney Creek 3, Wentworth Tigers 5. This one goes all the way for icing. So the officials operating as a three-man crew. After Rosati went off for repairs, we'll keep an eye on him. We haven't seen Steph come out of the trainer's facility here in Stoney Creek. Point shot, that chips and goes wide. Webster behind the net. Webster turning with it, trying to get it back to the point. Does, it clears the zone, and it'll be Matt Roberto controlling it for the Stoney Creek Tigers. One pass. That goes up past Madge, dumps it all the way into the corner. Gignac giving chase. Gignac fighting for it, goes banked off the boards, and now behind the net. Madge behind. Gignac trying to center, puck is loose, and now behind the net. Stoney Creek in there to get it. Bo Webster turns, but has a man right on him and gets pushed to the corner. Still, Webster battling, trying to bring it out front. Gignac with a late hit on Knight, or on White. That's his just missed. Now here comes Foss over the line. Plays it into the corner. Sheds a man now to the front of the net. Cross ice pass. They score! Hutchings was posted on the far side. And when Knight fell, that gave Foss an opportunity to move into the slot area. And he found Hutchings on the far side, who buried it. As Sagret had to respect the shooter. It's 6-3, Wentworth. 2 goals for each team in this second period. But after a breakout first period, it's Wentworth who lead the game, doubling up. That is going to be tripping to Sinagorats. And Harvey comes over to take exception. And Harvey goes away. McRae, Diodati, and chippiness is coming. So that looked like a trip. So now McRae and Teeple talking, and some of the chippiness starts to take effect. Into the slot, Voss. Diodati has it. Now they play it off the boards, comes in front, and Sagert comes up. Back to the power play, Wentworth goes here with a real chance to put a stranglehold on this game. McLeod takes the draw, wins it. Fans on the second attempt, and it's going to be Stoney Creek that gets to the puck, but they scrum away with it. Trying to get it back to the point. Now it's Diodati. He'll fire it back behind the net. McLeod gets it there, and Hutchings into the slot area. Cordell James looked to be cheating a bit on that clearing attempt. Geiger picks it up, gets it in the slot. Geiger has his pocket pick. Second attempt just deflects wide as they go to the front of the net on a shorthanded situation. Now Cordell James taking on three men. He's going to fight away in the corner, but Wentworth comes up with a puck, and James is out of gas as he heads to the bench and is without a stick. McLeod, cross ice pass, knocked down by Lomas. Now to Hutchings. Hutchings plays it back to the point. Diodati. Now down low into the cross ice pass for Floss. Deflected, they score. That was too easy for McLeod with a minute on the power play, as he was all alone in front of the net and just steered that one into the back of it. It is 7-3, Wentworth Gryphins, and Stoney Creek in a real hole now. Chris Knighton takes the draw. People go back to get it. That's deflected in. 5:24 to go in the second period. That one was offside. Oh, no, deflected with a high stick. So they'll come back. Knighton wins it back to Knight. Point shot right on Camilleri. The puck is loose at the side. Vela plays it there where Knighton trying to play it and can't get it. Now into the slot. Goes back of the net. Kept in by Stoney Creek, but now Wentworth comes out on a 2-on-1. Lewis with a far side pass. Too much mustard on it for Harvey. Harvey plays it back behind the net. Teeple has it bounce off his skate. He tries to reverse it, but almost reversed it to Harvey, who nearly got a good chance in front of the net. Now McRae. McRae gets a late hit by Teeple. They jostle around. Keep your eye on some of these late hits now, as they may draw certain scrums, like Teeple and McRae shoving there into the slot. Lewis goes. Teeple hanging on to McRae's stick. McRae goes back to pick it up. That's where the action is, and he just misses it. Goes over the corner. Now Teeple will play it, and he knows who's behind him. Teeple out to center. Sheds a man, but now it's Giftopoulos. This is Roberts. Scores! That's 8. A neutral zone turnover as Teeple tried to come through. It was knocked away by Lewis. And then a really nice feed to Roberts, who read the play perfectly and scored on the breakaway. And Stoney Creek going to have to take a timeout here. Down, never by a margin this low, 8-3 at home. Stoney Creek taking a timeout. Now, we do know that a 5-goal lead with any amount of time is not safe in Allen Cup hockey. But the last couple of shifts, it's Stoney Creek that's looked a little lax. And while they say that the Wentworth bench is short, they are looking pretty good at this point in the game, ahead 8-3. But, and dare I say it, twice in the regular season, Stoney Creek put up 9 on these very same Gryphins. Once on November 22nd, and again on February 26th. Don't go anywhere. McLeod has it knocked off his stick. Lead pass intercepted. It's going to be Roberts. Has it knocked off his stick. McLeod tried a one-timer. Good lead pass for McCormick, who has a bit of room on the side. Gets it in the slot for James, who can't play it further. Now back to the point. Giftopoulos gets it out of the zone. Forsland tries to bring it back in. He can't. We haven't seen the linesman return for this one, nor have we. Oh, Steph is back on the bench, the trainer of the year for the Stoney Creek Tigers, and former St. Alexander's graduate. Poliziani on his man in the slot. Long shot there by Essery, but it was a flutterer in the one-timer and an easy save for Camilleri. Face off right off the draw, right on Camilleri, who leaves it there for White, and cleared and spins all the way down the ice. It's not going to have enough for icing as Poliziani comes back to get it. 3:15 to go in the second period. It is 8-3 for the Wentworth Gryphins over the Stoney Creek Tigers. Long saucer pass. Caruso knocked it down, has it taken off him. In front of the backhander, just missed by Essery, as Petrantonio went in to get it. Now they come back the other way. Foss through center has it knocked off his stick once. White back at the point, fires a shot, and that was seen all the way by Sagret, who keeps it in his glove. Face off in the Stoney Creek zone. Back behind the net they go. Around the boards, this is Gignac, who's going to take it up to center. Gignac in over the line. Webster rolls it in. Puck was loose, but cleared by Wentworth, as it was in the slot area. Now a lead pass. This is Harvey, thinking of maybe a backhander to Miller. We haven't seen too much of Miller tonight. That one long shot is a nice save by Sagret. Deflected up, nearly out of play, but still behind the Stoney Creek goal. One back pass by Gignac. That comes out of the zone, but brought back in at the line, so we'll have a face-off all the way back. Nope, it's going to be just outside the line for icing, or offside. 2:14 to go in the second period. 8-3 Wentworth over the Stoney Creek Tigers. Certainly did not look like a mismatch of this nature all season as these teams are 1-2. Now, a discussion off the side is Teeple, and I can't see who it might be. Harvey over on that side. They might be talking. They battle a little bit more. It is Harvey and Teeple fighting a little, but now Vela with a long shot. Easy save by Camilleri, and then pushed on top of the goaltender by Miller. Was Knighton who went in there. So we haven't seen much of Miller, but that's what he did with one of his shifts. Tossed an opposing player on his goaltender. I think the official knows that Teeple and Harvey have got some discussion going. And they talk a little more off the draw. More pushing. Forsland gets it over on the far side to Sinigoratz, who's really waiting out there, and then gets hit by Harvey late. Harvey really wanted a piece of him, but it was late, and now this is where you might see some of the chippiness start to take place with the game and the score this kind of way. Again, Harvey and Sinigoratz look at each other. They kind of stay within reasonable proximity. This is Knighton. Long shot in on Camilleri, who's going to hang on to it. Sinigoratz and Harvey. Harvey yelling at Sinigoratz there on the way off. Harvey looking for a dance partner, I think. He had Teeple on that last shift, Anson and Goretz. No takers. Minute 37 to go in the second period. James to take the draw against McLeod. We're down to 3 officials. We haven't seen what's happened to Rosati. Back to the point. And McCormick going to bring it back in. Now in over the line and into the corner. McCormick into the slot, deflected. Oh boy. Off the skate of McLeod and right on Camilleri. All the puck luck going the way of the Wentworth Gryphins tonight. And some skill too. They've earned it. I don't want to make it sound like they haven't. They've certainly been skating well. Look to be supporting the puck down low very strongly. Back to the point. Geiger's high shot goes off the glass and into the mesh. And out of play. Minute 18 to go. Point shot right off the draw there was McCormick. It got deflected wide. McCormick nearly kept that in on a lazy clearing attempt. That one goes all the way down the ice. Icing waved off at the last second. They got there first. Now Elijah Roberts, he's fighting in the corner. It's going to be Geiger coming out with 1 minute to go in the second period. A long shot in on Camilleri. He clears it to the line and out. Now with a bit of a chance. And offside was Giftopoulos as the puck did not get to him quickly enough. 47.2 seconds to go, and we'll have a face-off outside of the Stoney Creek zone. It is 8-3 for Wentworth here in game one. White plays the puck in, goes down. Lomas missed it, and it went into the bench. Geiger over on the far side to Poliziani. Poliziani long dumping into the corner. Shot that was a high riser on Camilleri. Now another angle shot deflected in front. No puck luck there for the Tigers. This one goes all the way down the ice and icing at the last second. So there'll be a face-off coming all the way to the blocker side of Camilleri. All right. Well, now it's going to go to the glove side. Stoney Creek chooses they want that side. Now off the draw, they want it. Back into the corner, Essery giving chase on Foss. Tries to get his stick up a bit there, but it's Wentworth to come away with the puck. They reverse it once. Geiger realizes he has to pinch down low. It's kept into the point. Get a low shot, deflects. The puck is loose for a second, but covered up with 8.8 seconds by Camilleri. Eight and a half, 8.8 seconds left. The draw won by Stoney Creek to the front of the net, but Wentworth collapsing and just get it out of the zone. And that'll do it for the second period. We'll head to the third, and Wentworth has an 8-3 commanding lead here in game one. Third period coming up here at the Stoney Creek Arena in game one of the Robertson Cup Finals. A stranglehold on this game going into the third period belonging to the reigning Allen Cup and Robertson Cup champs, the Wentworth Gryphins. There is a goaltending change as Josh Roman comes in for the Stoney Creek Tigers. Roman only got one win. He did see a bit of another game during the regular season. It was one of the last ones here. but he has a 909 save percentage. The goals against average of 2.86 is what he saw. They've decided to give Sagert the rest of the night off and try and mount a comeback here. As King Street is seeing yet another battle here in Stoney Creek. Off one, and that puck goes all the way back into the Stoney Creek end. They started the second period with getting a much-needed goal to make it 4-2, but slowly pulling away ever since. And coming in, here's Cordell James. Loose puck, they score! McCormick all alone in the slot. And if you're writing the story of a great hockey game, the third period starts like that. It's 8-4. Still quite a distance to climb, but again, this is Allen Cup hockey. Anything can happen. Geiger back to get it. He's got 3 points in this one for Stoney Creek. Geiger brings it in over the line with some room, deflected over the glove of Camilleri. And judging by the oohs and ahs of the crowd, that did not miss much from their vantage point. Dumped into the corner, now flipping. Cordell James puts it low for the latest goal scorer, McCormick. Cole Poliziani gets it behind the net. They hack away at it. Diodati able to clear to an open side, but coming in is Essery on an offensive zone change by Stoney Creek. They somehow managed to keep the puck in the zone. They do again. Popick finally gets it out past the blue line. Everybody has to clear. Geiger dances along the line. Tightrope just begins to feel like home. He takes a hack and goes down. Harvey to get it. And Geiger coming back slowly, shaking his head, feeling that he was pretty well hacked going down, but he is tired. Look out, here comes Stoney Creek again. Roberto, he's got a little bit of Petrantonio going to the front of the net, right on and covered up, smothered by Camilleri. 18:24 to go in the third period. It is 4 goals for Stoney Creek and 8 for the visiting Wentworth Gryphins. Webster wins the draw. Roberto tries to get it through, doesn't. Gignac hacking around with it, goes into the corner. Played off the boards and back into the open area. Big shot from the point, deflects and goes wide. Now kept in again by Knight, who got a stick up in the face there trying to play it. And there is a penalty coming up. Meant to check to see if the linesman returned. He is not. So we'll play the rest of this game with 3 officials. A high sticking penalty to Alex Hutchings. We'll have Stoney Creek go back to the power play here to try and make the deficit 3 goals. But it's got to start somewhere. And Stoney Creek has been very good on the power play this evening, scoring twice. But they do have 1 shorthanded goal against them. Good job by Cordell James there, doing a lot of work at the blue line. Geiger gets it up to Poliziani. James playing it, but McCormick couldn't get outside the line fast enough. And the face-off will come outside the Wentworth zone. James and McLeod. McLeod wins it, goes back to White. White dumps it all the way down the ice. And Stoney Creek will have 1:40 to work with their power play. Geiger has it taken off his stick. James plays it back to Poliziani. Some good forechecking there by Remy Giftopoulos to try and stall this Stoney Creek zone entry, which is slowly approaching. Here it is. James drops it to McCormick. Back to James. James aims for the slot, gets deflected, and that'll go all the way back down the ice. Poliziani back to get it. Wentworth changing penalty killers. 1:10 to go in the power play. Poliziani behind the net. Coming out now to the blue line. Makes a little move, goes through center, still has the puck. Gains the zone, McCormick. Back to Knight. Intercepted, and this is going to be a chance for Lewis, but Knight has an angle. Swats at him, dumps him right into the goaltender. That comes off the mooring. That has been a problematic one down in that end this evening. And Knight just picked a lane, and Lewis tried to pick a lane to the net. Gave him a good solid bump, but it was a bit from behind. I don't know how the puck ended up in the net, but the net was off its moorings. Both moorings come off. No penalty, but a face-off. In the Stoney Creek zone with 46 seconds to go on the power play. Lewis didn't have the speed to outskate Knight there, and Knight tried to pick a line and just ended up sliding into Roman. Webster wins the draw, goes back of the net for Knight. Knight to pick it up and now make one play. Leads it out of the zone. This is Webster. Cross ice pass. Big hit in front of the net. Another penalty coming. Shot from a tough angle. And this is going to be a two-man advantage for Stoney Creek. A hooking call going to Harvey. Kevin Harvey hooking. So a big chance here for Stoney Creek with a two-man advantage for 29 seconds. Cordell James in to take the draw against McLeod. It goes back to the point where Geiger keeps it into Poliziani. The three-man triangle operating. Geiger shoots. Blocker saved by the loose puck. Poliziani couldn't jam it in the side of the net. Camilleri still down. That hard shot goes wide. This is Geiger. 10 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Poliziani scores! Off the post and in. With 8 seconds to go in the first power play, and now 1:33 to go, it's 8-5 for Wentworth. Cole Poliziani trying to fire the team up. That's Dan with a big shot there, off the post and in. Camilleri knocked down at the side of the net, very slow to recover. He gets back into position, and when he does, the first shot goes wide. They control the puck a bit more before the puck came to Poliziani, and he fired that off the post and in. There's still 1:33 to go in the power play. Here comes Geiger. Through center, dumps it down. Wentworth able to clear it. This one goes all the way down the ice. Lomas giving chase on Poliziani. So both Poliziani's getting points there. In the slot, loose goes wide, back to the point. Dan Poliziani, the latest goal scorer, couldn't keep it in, but he leads it up to McCormick. McCormick leads the pass now. Poliziani all the way back to Geiger. Geiger, minute to go on the power play. Dumps it in from center. Winds it around the boards where McCormick gets it and plays it back behind the net. But White has a chance to clear it. He gets it to the line, and it's going to pop out there as Hutchings brings it to center. Hutchings with a man on him. Shoved a little bit there at the blue line and offside. Face-off will be outside the Stoney Creek zone with 46 seconds to go on the power play. I mean, it's better if the Leafs lose, right? They're down 2-0. Webster takes the draw. Now Essery just misses it. It goes back in the zone. Eric Diodati fires at the length of the ice. It's going to be Petrantonio, has it come off his skate. Could be a chance here for Giftopoulos, which would be a second Giftopoulos. Often gifted Giftopoulos. Knight brings it in over the line. Webster's with him. Puck gets deflected right there by Wentworth and goes back the length of the ice. They'll get one more chance to gain the zone as this is Petrantonio coming through center. Petrantonio finds Whalen on that side. Whalen dumps it down low. In there is Webster trying to center it, poked away by Camilleri. Webster goes right by it. Petrantonio to Knight. Knight controls things at the point. Cross-ice pass is deflected. Whalen goes into the corner to get it. Penalty is ending. Comes in front. Out of the box is Harvey. He was free, but they couldn't get him the puck. Giftopoulos does a backhand to center. McLeod makes a move at the blue line, goes to the far side. Tries an angle shot in front of the net, but that works out in Stoney Creek's favor. They get going the other way as Essery just dumps it down into the zone where Camilleri plays it. Off the boards once, and that's Harvey with the puck. Fresh out of the box into center. This is McRae. Knighton had to wait for his man to get off. That far shot misses the net and goes by Lewis, and it'll go all the way down the ice. Back to get it is Caruso. Caruso fires it back of the net for White. White, and a big hit by Sinigoratz there on Harvey. Harvey takes a number and starts to skate back down into the zone, and this is where Forsland has it for Stoney Creek. Forsland brings it out over the blue line. One lead pass gets deflected, and then it goes into the corner. Back of the net, Camilleri to Harvey. Harvey is tripped. Penalty forthcoming there by Knighton. Knighton and Harvey having a discussion. And a second dive there by Harvey, who's not going to take a penalty, but he will take the flop as he comes chest first and ass down on that attack. Knighton having a discussion about the honorability of that. Here come the officials to point Knighton to the box as he's going to go for tripping. Oh, you don't like to see flopping in hockey. That's very soccer. I'd give him a diving. It was a shove, but he taunted him into it. And Harvey's been looking for a dance partner. Anyway, down the ice it goes. I don't like that. Doesn't sit well with me. And it shouldn't with anyone who's a hockey fan. Uh-oh, and now Geiger gets a stick up into the gloves. No, sorry, Gignac gets a stick up into the gloves, and he'll go for 2 or less. And really now a chance for Wentworth to put this game away. Well, there was no doubt that the first penalty was a penalty, and I think the officials handled that one right. That one was up in the gloves, too. I mean, nothing either way on the Harvey dive. He went down like he got shot. Referee trying to explain that the number 2 does not work on the scoreboard. But Gignac will go for hooking. Face-off goes now back to the point. Diodati plays it in. Good chance for Wentworth that have a minute 40 really to put this one away. Hutchings steps in over the line, fires a shot right on Roman, and the key part there is no rebound. Okay. Face off to the blocker side of Roman. 13:10 to go in the third period. It's 8-5 Wentworth. Fired around by Geiger, but doesn't clear the zone. Look out, this is Foss. Foss takes it in the corner, back to the point it goes. Diodati over on this side to Hutchings. Hutchings, ever dangerous on the power play. Behind the net, and interference, and then another penalty for interference, and then a slashing of the stick that went up. So Wentworth getting chippy here. That one was Lomas, who's going for interference. And now I think an unsportsmanlike for Foss. So we're going to have a bit of 3-on-3 hockey. A lot of open ice on this small ice surface will be interesting for the next minute 15. Referees now trying to sort out with the players what the lineup is going to look like. There's still a minute 32 to go in the second Tigers penalty. But 2 minutes, Foss doesn't like it. He's trying to get something. All right. So now a little 3-on-3 hockey. Essery trying to play the draw. It's going to be Hutchings. Some good skaters out there for the Wentworth side. Here comes Diodati through center. And he's just going to turn around and go back into his own zone. Going to rag the puck a little on this 3-on-3. Give it to McLeod. McLeod goes through center. McLeod has 2 men on him, and it goes off to the side. Now comes in front for Hutchings. Hutchings fires a shot. That goes wide on the blocker side. However, Wentworth still on the puck. Gets it all the way back to the point. Hutchings tries to sift it in, but Essery blocks that. Hutchings has to clear the zone, steps out to center and controls the puck. It's been Wentworth for the last minute with the puck. Trying to make changes. Hutchings leads it up there. Now finally Stoney Creek coming up with the puck. Here comes James. James in. Blocker save. Puck is loose. Covered up. And that was a good chance for Stoney Creek there with 24 seconds left in their first penalty. A minute and 9 to go in both other penalties for Wentworth. Doing this in a roundabout way. Stoney Creek has 41 seconds in their second penalty. Face off in the Wentworth zone. Won by Stoney Creek, but they have to clear the zone. This is Dan Poliziani, who takes it all the way back into the Stoney Creek zone. He might be waiting for one player to come out in 15 seconds. That'll be Knighton, who might join the fray. Long lead pass in, Camilleri out to play it. Lots of respect there from Cole Poliziani, who tried to get out of his way. Seven more seconds in the first Knighton penalty. One draw, nice save by Camilleri on the low shot by Cole Poliziani. And here comes Roberts. It's a 2-on-2. Giftopoulos fires a shot. That goes wide. Off the boards. And now it's a brief power play for Stoney Creek with 35 seconds left in the other one. It's a 4-on-3. Into the corner. James dances away with it. Now looks to come in front. Flips, tries to flip a pass. It's knocked down by Camilleri. Second penalty is over. It's a brief 5-on-3. James finds it in his skates. 20 more seconds on this little exchange. Now in over the line. Whalen, long shot steered aside by Camilleri, but picked up by Geiger. 10 seconds to go in both other penalties. Geiger's just going to play the line, gets set up, shoots. And Camilleri gobbles up the rebound with 11 minutes to go and 6 seconds left in the two-man advantage. So Stoney Creek is going to try and win the draw, but also be very aware of what's coming out of the box. They're going to want to try and get an opportunity here. Looks like Bo Webster's going to take a draw. He does. It goes to the front of the net. They score! Whalen deflected it right off the draw in a 3-second goal play drawn up. It's 8-6 with just under 11 minutes to go. Whalen guided that one through the legs of Camilleri off the draw. It was pushed ahead by Webster. Whalen from Webster. Roberto. Here comes Essery. Look out. Stoney Creek's got life. Centered puck gets deflected just wide. Essery takes a hit into the corner. Foss goes out and they get it back out to center. Got to give Stoney Creek credit. They've made a game of this here in the third period. They're showing themselves to be the lead leaguers that they were. Camilleri out to play it. Loses the puck. Now it's behind along the dasher board. Goes to Wentworth. They get the puck out. No, Petra Antonio keeps it in. Essery just couldn't get it open, but Whalen was in front of the net. Did he manage to get it free? They still jam away at the blue line, and Wentworth gets it out. A little more panic out there by both teams. Urgency from one end. Discipline trying to be found on the other. They play it through center here in game one of the Robertson Cup Finals. Sinigorats. Long pass on the other side. It's batted in. Gignac gives chase. Nope. They're saying he didn't touch it. That one's going to go all the way for icing. No changes allowed on the Stoney Creek bench, but I think they got most of who they wanted out there. And it'll be a face-off to the glove side of Josh Roman. Dylan Madge to take the draw. McLeod. Won by Madge. Goes back behind the net. Madge tries a lead pass. Has it taken off his stick? This is Roberts. Has it knocked off his stick, but Wentworth right there to get the puck. Gignac back to hack it up. Sinigorats looking for options. He fires a long shot in. It's going to have to be Madge getting there. It's not quite to the line. Oh, it bounced on the dasher board and went up to McLeod. McLeod with a nice hit from Forza. Oh, McLeod goes down, but that was to get his stick. Sinigorats plays one pass. This is up to Gignac. He missed it. Goes past Caruso down the ice for icing, and that one was a little further ahead. So it is a 2-goal game here at the Stoney Creek Arena. Face off down low. Sinigorats plays it to Forsland. Forsland, one play up. Off the boards and to center. This is Webster. Webster turns around. Lost the puck, but Webster still has it now. Webster trying to keep it in. Geiger fires a shot. And Camilleri had to be sharp there. Still plenty of time in this one. Face off in the Wentworth zone. Knighton to take the draw against Lewis. Stoney Creek wins it. Geiger at the point. Nice glove save by Camilleri there, who read that and saw it all the way. Knighton to take the draw in against Lewis again. He gets waved on the far side. Vela and his man arguing about where the dissemination line would be. The demarcation, sorry. That's what I want. I want a demarcation. Into the corner it goes. Now centered in front! And that almost redirected in. Again, Camilleri at the side of the net. Pushing and shoving is Tiefel and Lewis. And wisely coming to the defense of the goaltender. Camilleri not liking what he saw coming in from Knighton. Poliziani and Geiger do not want to join the fray and make the face-off outside. Despite heavy pushing and shoving, Geiger thinking about coming in. Stays at the hash marks. Camilleri's watching him, making sure he doesn't because he wants that face-off outside. Now Camilleri chucking the puck to that open face-off side. Cooler heads prevail. But Lewis and Vela laughing. Still talking. They're saying, let's go. Lewis and Vela both going to go to their respective benches. And they are dismissed to their benches. 8:46 to go in a spirited contest here that all of a sudden is getting interesting. James wins the puck. Stoney Creek plays it to the line, tried to dump it into the corner, but it's Wentworth coming out. There's some lumber on the ground there. That looked like it belonged to Essery, and that one goes all the way for icing. Wentworth trying to argue that Roman played it and that should negate the icing, but it's going to go all the way back. The debris being removed from the ice, and we'll have another face-off in the Wentworth zone. Cordell James in to take the draw. We've got the James Poliziani McCormick line looking to do some damage here. Wentworth getting a little more tired as this game goes on. Their bench a little shorter than Stoney Creek's step. That one went back to the point but gets out of the zone. McCormick plays it back for Poliziani. Poliziani has it behind the net and goes for a little skate. He's got a lot of steam. Goes up past the blue line and through center. Poliziani now backhander to the front of the net. It's loose. Goes to the line and out. McCormick unable to keep it in as Wentworth just clears the zone. But McCormick making a few moves and now dumps it into the corner. Poliziani giving chase. It's winded around the boards by Diodati. Took a weird bounce. And this is going to be Foss coming to center for Wentworth. Foss and Hutchings rolls it in on Roman, who hasn't been too busy this period, but he did have a couple of players come at him at full speed. It's 7:49 to go. It's 8-6 for Wentworth. Stoney Creek looking to try and find something deep on this one. Maybe something that they can push forward. Puck won it into the slot and just missed the top corner on that was Roberts. Roberts has one here tonight on a breakaway. Now he's going to the side of the net. It's going to be Essery that takes him off the puck. Trying to get it Petrantonio. Now in front to Wentworth. They bat it behind the net. This is McLeod reversing it the other way. Roberts tries to play it now back, and Whalen to the line, kept in. Point shot doesn't get through. Rebound there and kept in, and it's going to be just out as Petrantonio gets it out for Stoney Creek. A lot of work there, but they only keep possession and don't even go past center. Here comes Matt Roberto. Led up and tipped in, just misses the net. And that one will go for icing. Even though Camilleri didn't quite leave the crease. And it skipped over him too. I mean, if that really was on net, it would have been lucky. But we've seen a couple lucky goals here tonight. Anyway, icing with a tired group of Stoney Creek Tigers out there. And we'll see a face-off down there. That end. Face-off, Lewis in to take the draw. One warning on one side. One by Stoney Creek. Played off the boards. Petrantonio couldn't get up to it. And it goes all the way back. Now they're making their changes as Whalen goes off. First pass to Roberto. Roberto brings it through center. This is Webster, who made an extra move at the line and put the forechecking Gignac offside. Sinagoratz goes over on that side to Forsland. Forsland long shot in. Diodati plays it up to Harvey and it's missed. Now Sinagoratz to Forsland. Dumped in. This is Madge giving chase. Camilleri out to play it. Camilleri didn't play it. It hopped over his stick. Now it's behind the net, but recovered by McRae. Now stolen in the slot. And that was stopped by Gignac's shot. Was Diodati in front who got his body. Here's McRae. Far side for Lewis. And he pays for that at the far end. Still got the puck, though. Lewis looking to come out with it. It's going to be Stoney Creek that just flip it to center. Diodati back to get it for Caruso. Now chipped ahead. Stoney Creek with the puck. Webster tried to get it to Poliziani. Couldn't. McCormick is out there. And now he's skating with those white Nikes. Stops it at the line. One lead pass for Poliziani, who brings it in over the blue line. Poliziani tries to go wide. Now plays it in the corner. Back to Geiger. His second attempt. All he can do is get it low. Sticks knocked away, and this is going to be a 2-on-1. Lomas is in there. Lomas on this side deflected away by Geiger, who made a good defensive play to get back. Now they wind it around the boards. Foss is going to go in to get it. McCormick loses his stick, has to go get it. This gives a bit of room at the point for White, who gets it over to Caruso. Caruso in the slot, deflected and cleared by Stoney Creek. That'll gain the blue line, give them a chance to get a change as it won't go far enough for icing. But here come the Wentworth Gryphins leading it through center. Now back the other way. This is Knight. Knight makes a nice move to the middle. Knight Gets it over this side. Loose puck. Oh, great save by Camilleri. And then Petrantonio was dumped hard as he went to the net. He's trying to get out of the zone. They won't let Knight out of the zone, but offside is the call as Lomas really tied up his man trying to clear the zone. Giftopoulos brings it through. Intercepted by Essery. Wellen with the puck. His backhander doesn't go too far. And it's cleared over on this side to Diodati. Forsland back to get it. 4:36 to go in this hockey game, maybe. Third period for sure. Forsland takes it back into his zone. They need two. Long pass. Stoney Creek through center. Deflected. It's Wentworth coming up with the puck. That just goes outside of the line. Essery turns around and brings it in. It's pushed by McLeod, but goes into the corner, now behind the net. Essery wraparound. Puck is loose in the slot. Camilleri gets hit with all the traffic. Syndergorats. And this is going to be Syndergorats and McLeod throwing punches. McLeod trying to get the right going, but he does get the takedown. He has Syndergorats on the ground, and the arm cocked. But like diving, you just don't do that. You don't hit him when you got a man down on the ice. That is when the punching stops. So McLeod showing adherence to the unwritten rules. So McLeod, the captain, going off, and Syndergorats, who's been an emotional leader all night, trying to get the bench going when Stoney Creek were way out of it. So Diodati in there talking with Geiger and referee Hooper. 5-on-5 is going to be the call. They'll sort this out, but I think it's going to be fighting majors to both. And the story really at the end of it is that it's 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to get, and Stoney Creek needs 2. Officials looking at this. Nobody in the box to serve anything. Harvey comes off. He's not happy, shaking his head. Possibly looking for a dance partner. Face off one. This is Poliziani. A long shot in, deflected. Diodati will clear it once blindly. This will go all the way down the ice. But ahead of the play is Wentworth there to negate the icing, and that is Roberts, who had a step on everybody. Good, smart, alert play by Roberts there. Lead pass is poked ahead as it goes into the Wentworth zone. A hit on the side and interference, the call there. Going to Diodati. Nope. It's going to be Giftopoulos. Interference. 2 minutes. So Stoney Creek, who, if there's a bright spot to look at, despite getting shelled for all the goals they have looked pretty good on the power play tonight. And they'll get a chance now. And they're going to pull their goaltender, too. So out of the net is Josh Roman. We've got a 6-on-4 here. That face-off wasn't done fairly. They'll do it again. Off the draw, Stoney Creek wins it. Poliziani at the point. Poliziani trying to sift it through a crowd. Does, but Camilleri saw that with a glove. Made a nice save. There's 3:35 to go in this game. A minute 52 in the power play. And the goaltender is out. Stoney Creek need a goal. James wins it, gets it back to Geiger. Geiger to McCormick. Poliziani trying to get it back to the point. Does. Over on the far side, that takes a weird bounce off of Dan Poliziani and clears the zone. Now he gains the zone, pushes ahead there for White. He's got the other Poliziani on him. And a couple of Stoney Creek players get that first. Comes in front. Puck is loose. Backhander to the line, kept in by Poliziani. Puts it over on that side to Whalen. Whalen centers it, deflected, and it goes wide. Geiger chases it in the corner, puts it back of the net to Poliziani. Poliziani rounds on the side to point Poliziani. Geiger has it, goes back to Poliziani. Now low into Whalen, has it go off his stick. It's picked up by Cordell James, flipped to the center. Loaded up on the other side is Poliziani. Back over to this side to Geiger. Geiger steps in off the line, shoots, blocker save, rebound. Oh, and Poliziani fanned on it, but McCormick kept it going. To the front of the net, they score! James in front, tips the puck, and it's a one-goal hockey game! Somehow! Cordell James with his second of the game! 2:35 to go! Goaltender back in now, and the play resumes with 2:30 to go. 1-goal lead for Wentworth. Somehow, this period started 8-3. Stoney Creek has fought their way back into it. Their power play looks great tonight. Josh Roman taking a peek at the bench. They've got what they needed out of him so far this period. They play and jam away along the boards. It goes into the corner. No winner and nobody coming up with the puck yet. Gets to the front, and it's going to be Popik clearing it off the boards, not out. Knight keeps it in. Plays it off the boards, tries to deflect it. It's in front. Puck is loose. They bounce away for it. It goes back to the point. Petrantonio trying to find it in his feet. It goes on net and flips over top of it. Around the boards, Essery keeps it in. This is Webster. Webster behind the net gets knocked down. They play the puck and it goes into an open corner. Whalen giving chase, gets it back to the point. Petrantonio fires, goes wide. It's behind the net. They fight away for it. Essery gets it to Knight. Knight moves, fires it, flips it behind the net. This is going to be Petrantonio back to the point. Shot! And that's saved by Camilleri. What action in the Wentworth zone. Gryphins clinging to a 1-goal lead in this one. Looking at both benches. And are they going to call the timeout? Yep, they're ready to call it. The hands are positioned. They're waiting till the last possible moment. As they line up, it looks like Wentworth is going to call a timeout here. Here comes. And it is. Wentworth has called the timeout. Well, good work by Mike Marasco to get this crowd fired up. What do you think of this one, Ryan? James in to take the draw on this timeout. Excitement. Some people have left. Those that haven't have moved down to this end of the rink. Behind the net it goes. It is won by Stoney Creek. McCormick takes it back behind the net. Geiger trying to center it. Goes back behind the net, centered, now comes in front, hack to the line. Oh, and James just couldn't keep it in. Wentworth clears the zone. The net is empty. It's going to be James firing it into the corner, and he'll give chase. White on him, and they're bumped. And he gets it, the puck down. He's going to take a shot just to try and clear the zone. Policiani has Harvey on him. Harvey tried to grab him. And a minute 10 to go, and Stoney Creek will try and come down the ice. It goes right into the breadbasket there. Brought back in by McRae. McRae plays it off the boards, one bounce, misses the empty net, and that'll go for icing with 58 seconds left in the third period. McRae talking to the bench there like he was hoping for a pool shot. It didn't work, and now maybe it'll be Stoney Creek taking their timeout, but they're deciding where the faceoff is going, which side it's going on this icing, and they are picking the right-hand side. Essery in to take the draw. Sorry, Stoney Creek already took their timeout much earlier in the game. This one goes all the way down the ice and just misses the empty net, but it's not enough for icing. Policiani, one lead pass to Geiger. Geiger dumps it into the corner. Gignac going hard there. To the line, kept in by Essery. Now low, centered in front, and this is Webster. He's got a chance, back to the point, Geiger. Score! Do you believe? In front, deflected by Essery, and a point shot by Geiger. And this game is tied. Doors and dejection slammed on the Wentworth bench with 34 seconds left. A famous number by Canadian standards. With time on the clock, 1972. Back behind the net. Maybe this will get decided in regulation. Who knows? Long shot in on Camilleri, who hangs on, and we'll have one more face-off. So they give Essery the tying goal by the point shot by Geiger. That's his fourth point of the evening for sure. Face-off with 14.8 seconds left in the Wentworth zone. It's in the zone. Essery centers it. One whack at it to the point. Into the corner. Knight plays it to the line, not out. Put in front of the net. Turned around shot. Pad saved by Camilleri just as the buzzer goes. And you have to feel that Wentworth was just surviving there. And we'll head to overtime, if you can believe it. So game one of this Robertson Cup final is going to go to overtime, which is just about to start. And we're going to finish this game with 3 officials as Rosati got injured at the blue line in the second period. To recap, Stoney Creek came into the third period down 8-3, but then goals by McCormick, a goal by Policiani, Whalen, Cordell James, and finally to tie it, a tip in by Essery, have made this game 8-8 at the bottom of the escarpment here in Stoney Creek. What a hockey game here. And overtime. Free hockey for all of those in attendance. I asked Ryan Taylor who he picked, and he says the entire Stoney Creek team. They switch ends for this one. And because of all the high scoring in this one and early goals and periods, the whole game through, one has to suspect that this might end early. But a pivotal game one, if there ever was, in a 5-game series. Overtime coming up. the players lining up as they get ready for what is sure to be an exciting overtime here in Stoney Creek. It's going to be Foss to take the draw against Cordell James. He has 2 in this contest. They gingerly touch tips, and we're away in overtime. Game 1 of the Robertson Cup final on the line. Poliziani back in his zone, plays it over to Geiger. Geiger, over center, bounces it off the boards. It skips off over Poliziani. Eric Diodati plays it off the glass. It's kept in, but only momentarily as Popick brings it out to center and dumps it in the zone. Foss gives chase, plays it behind the net. Gets it open side, centering pass, doesn't work. Cole Poliziani. Now one lead pass to Dan Poliziani. It gets past to James. James with a bit of room on the far side. James shoots, just misses on the far side. Poliziani has to tip it around the back-checking Wentworth player. And now back in the zone, Geiger. Long shot, Camilleri catches it, holds on, doesn't like what he sees, and he'll hang on till the face-off in the Wentworth zone. We've played just 45 seconds of overtime, and it's heart-thumping action here, 8-8 in the Robertson Cup final. Wentworth ahead 4-0 at one point in this game, then ahead 8-3 in the third period. Stoney Creek's come back. They dump that one in, it somehow misses all the beams. Nope, goes out of play. It was so smooth by Roberto that we're going to have this one come back towards the other face-off dot, outside of the Stoney Creek zone. Face-off won by Essery. Stoney Creek plays it ahead, goes towards the net. Essery trying to get to the puck. Cleared out, and it's going to be Knight that has the puck here. Played it out through center, and now down through the zone. Essery gets that puck. Leaves it there for Whalen. Centering pass. Back to the point to Roberto. Roberto puts it in the corner for Whalen. Tried to center it, but Wentworth there to cover up. Oh boy, Knight almost lost his footing there. Puck stays into the Wentworth zone. Behind the net it goes for Whalen. They jam away at it. Nearly comes in front, but Wentworth able to clear the puck. Intercepted by Petra Antonio, backhands it in. Whelan's had enough. They'll both go off for a change. On the ice comes Dylan Madge, and behind the net, left there by Wentworth. They're trying to get out of the zone. They finally do. Webster turns around. Madge has the puck. Plays it into the corner. Caruso misses it. Lined around the boards by Camilleri. Gignac misses it. Point shot by Poliziani. Goes wide of the net. Now down low for Madge. Madge, angled shot. Comes in front. Loose puck. Oh! The loose puck is still in front of the net. Geiger had a chance, or Gignac had a chance, and he fired it over top of the net. In the slot, McRae, it was Gignac all alone with a chance. The game on his stick, and he just fired it high. He got under it all right. To the line. Out, back to center. Wentworth making changes. McRae fires it into an open corner. Back to get it is Poliziani. He plays it on this side to Geiger. Geiger, second long pass. He has McCormick. McCormick has an angle. Stops. McCormick in the slot. McCormick dances. Backhander. Rebound! Nice save by Camilleri. Taken down by Popick, but no call. These are overtime rules, folks. It's going to take quite something to call a penalty in this one. Now in over the line. Diodati plays it to the side of the net, and Roman covers up. 17:04. We've played just about 3 minutes of overtime. Couple of glorious chances. For the Stoney Creek Tigers in what is a really exciting hockey overtime game 1. Foss to take the draw in there. In the Stoney Creek zone to the glove side of Roman, who replaced Sagret in this one. Puck goes into the slot. Roberto missed it, so they score! Hutchings gets the loose puck as it was tangled up in Roberto's skates and fires a backhand home. And Wentworth takes game 1. Exactly 3 minutes in overtime. The next game in this series is Thursday night in Wentworth. That'll go at 7:30. Game 3 back here on Saturday at 6:30 at the Stoney Creek Arena. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.